event. Unfortunately, we're here. We're gathered under mournful conditions. There's a war raging on that's been going on for 6 years now in Iraq, and another war in Afghanistan for 8 years. And in addition to that, there is the economic crisis here at home. But we're here today to expose the relationship between the injustices happening abroad and to those at home. Although they're thousands of miles apart, the struggles faced by our brothers and our sisters in Fallujah, in Athens, in Chiapas, in Guadalupe, and at UC Irvine is the same. It's simple. We see the pockets of the already wealthy growing while the bellies of the poor remain vacant. Each week, we hear about working class people losing jobs. Last week, it was GM that cut nearly 50,000 more jobs. The state of California cut 20,000 jobs. And the UN has estimated that at least 50 million people across the world will lose their jobs. On the other hand, we see those people in power with money who are responsible for the exploitation of billions of people to ask for more money. And then they get it. Since this last summer, trillions of dollars taxpayer dollars have gone into their pockets, and then they spend it on luxurious spa treatments, the way those AIG execs did in October. And in November, they took private jet flights on their way to ask for more money. They also live in sophisticated mansions on top of hills, like our Chancellor Drake. Meanwhile, the tired people who clean his office and his palace live in crowded homes. He and his colleagues make hundreds of thousands of dollars while our tuition rates keep going up. And our brothers and sisters employed at this university are worked to the point of exhaustion and are paid poverty wages. After years and years of working at this university, not directly employed by the UCs, instead hired through an outsourced company, they are asking to be recognized to be employed directly by the university. This injustice has been transpiring for decades, and it is time to put an end to it. They pit us against each other, workers, students, and professors. They claim that our tuition rates will go up. They claim our tuition rates will increase because the workers are asking for more money and benefits. But this is not the case. The fact of the matter is that while we are asked to pay for more, for crowded classrooms, for canceled courses, and less available resources, the workers are asked to work faster, longer hours, and for less. On the other hand, the administration doesn't hesitate to give themselves bonuses of hundreds of thousands of dollars. They live in huge houses, and they never think twice about it. And this shouldn't be the case. We, the workers, the students, and the professors, we are the might and the powerful force behind this university. We are all workers of this university. We students provide not only our tuition, but we produce prominent research. We are employed directly by this university, some of us. And we are the ones who sit in these classrooms. Our professors, also workers, provide us with information to make us future workers in our intended industries. Service workers contribute with their blood, sweat, and tears. They're the ones who clean this university, and they keep these perfectly manicured lawns and gardens. We are the force behind this university. Without workers, there is no UC Irvine. So like I said, we're here to point out these contradictions within the university, and to point out that we're all workers and we're all one, and we shouldn't be pitted against each other. So can we please have our first speaker, Ilgis of the MSU, come down and give him a round of applause.
I greet you all with an Islamic greeting of peace. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I'm not used to speaking like this. It's kind of stressful, but I'll try my best. And excuse my grammatical mistakes, I'm still an immigrant. Anyways, we're living in interesting times. In the times where many things are happening that shouldn't be happening. Our country is a bastion of the free market economy. We're the ones who, have been propagating this ideal of free market and as little government interference as possible. And now we look the way in the past 6 months, the government itself that has been propagating this ideal of free market has just turned the idea upon its head. How do I mean it? Is if you look at it, the main purpose of the free market is to, you let the invisible hand of free market, do its job. You do not interfere, and you let the forces of the market do their job. And what happened, like in the past 6 months, it was exactly the opposite. When the government just simply took like a couple $1 trillion and made it up, and then said like, here you go to the banks, the financial institutions, like you guys can have this, and just to keep you afloat. Meaning it's like sort of the corporate welfare, I suppose, where instead of the money going to the universities or the schools or the hospitals or all the other much needed social services that we need here, they're going to those financial institutions, those piggy banks whose sole purpose is to enrich like a very, very tiny minority of the population at the expense of everybody else. And this is a sheer injustice, and the way it's happening is like, it's like a robbery, in the daylight robbery of the Americans' future, because all those billions of dollars that the Bush presidency, the Obama's presidency is giving away to the Citigroup and to all the other fat cats on Wall Street, this money are basically our taxes. Our taxes, our children's taxes, and even our grandchildren's taxes. So we'll be paying for this like for the generations to come. And this is just the sheer injustice that we should not let go on like that. To bring it closer here, we can see how our own administration has a similar philosophy in the way of dealing with the students and in the way of dealing with the workers. Similar, like either it's a faculty, the TAs, or whoever, or all the janitors and the custodians on campus. We see the same pattern where in times of crisis like that, the top echelon of the administration, the CEO, CEC, whatever they're getting the bonuses of like $40,000 just to sweeten the deal. They get like a $500,000 salary a year, where at the same time the typical landscaper or the land worker makes like $10, $11 an hour without many benefits for him. And then they're using the same crisis as an excuse to cut further down the services, like social services for the workers or the services for the students. So, and it seems like it's like their whole idea is that we're living in crisis and we're gonna cut the social services, but at the same time we're gonna give a couple $1 trillion to some financial institutions on Wall Street. We're living in crisis, so we're gonna cut Medicare or something like that. But at the same time, we're going to send $10 billion to Israel so that they can kill children with white phosphorus. We're living in times of recession, so because of that, the administration is going to raise the tuition at the same time giving themselves perks and whatever other sweet deals that they have, they reserve for themselves. Like I would not know how to what to do, how to exactly, I'm not really not as knowledgeable about these matters, but this is something that should not be going on like that, and this is something that we all should be working to change, to make it such a way that that the UCI, the whole system would be benefiting us as a people, either with students, the workers, the TAs, the professors, rather than the benefiting this tiny minority on the top who gets everything and who gets to decide where the money should go. Just as a recent example, in New York City, there was 70 students at the New York University. They took over, and there was like an alliance of many various clubs and organizations on the New York University. So it's like one of the largest private universities in America. So basically, they took over, occupied dining hall on campus, and issued a list of demands, which included, among other things, is better wages and better benefits for the workers on campus, as well as the freeze on tuition hikes, and many other very progressive ideas. Unfortunately, they were shut down. And I'm not saying that we should do the same thing, because there are other ways of, legitimate ways of putting a political pressure on the administration. And I urge everybody here to try their best to put political pressure on our administration. We have to tickle them or pinch them or something to make them realize that we do not like the way they're treating us. We do not want tuition hikes at the time when we're struggling to make ourselves to make our living meet.